I'm so excited to talk to you because I grew up in a home, just to give you some context here, and why I'm excited to hear your story. Because your story is my mom's story, or pieces of it, my wife's story, and unfortunately, it's all of my ex-wives and ex-girlfriends' stories. I grew up in an abusive home. I saw my father abuse my mother while he was abusing us, my brother and I. And then, of course, I was messed up. I was on drugs. I was a chemsex addict. I was angry at the world, and I was a liar and a cheater, and I had to do everything I could to protect my secrets. And so I became a monster. So not only was I abused sexually and physically, I became an abuser myself. And telling you all of this just to set the groundwork for this conversation, because I know so much of what you do is about empowering women who have been abused and have been in abusive homes and so on. And so I wanted to share that because I think it would be wrong of me to have this conversation without telling you that first. It's been a long road to recovery. It's not been something that's been easy. A lot of it had to do with healing a lot of mental health issues, getting sober, doing things like that. But it's taken a lot of work. It's not been an easy path because, as you know, what it's like when somebody gets triggered easily, they get angry, they don't know how to control their emotions, they don't know how to even really have a grasp of what reality is. It's very uncomfortable for everyone in that person's life. So I wanted to lay that out there before we got into this conversation so that anything that I say, you know, it's coming from a place of someone that knows, it's been through it, was abused myself, but also became that monster also. So I'll stop there, but I'm excited to have this conversation because I know how important the work you're doing is. So with that said, will you share a little bit about your story and how you got to this place where now you are able to work with women all over the world to help them in a situation that was very similar to yours?
Okay. Thank you so much for that. Sharing so much about your life with me and that invitation to share my story as well. First of all, I would say our home is where the heart is. And even though we may have grown up with challenges, your challenges are different from mine in some ways. But again, it is traumatic. And when we do drugs or we take alcohol, we're not numbing our pain. We're not getting at the root. We're only treating the symptom. So once we take that inner journey into ourselves and we're able to let go that yesterday is not on the calendar and neither are you or me. Wow. And it's like, I just talked about my birthday. It's just like we birth ourselves each day to a new day, and letting go and forgiving is a big part of that. And I teach that to women on a regular basis, but I also teach it to men as well with my night shift program. But the truth is, when you're able to let go of your past and realize that you're not on the calendar anymore, and you can take those lessons learned, because it's very dark when you have to be connected to addictions to numb your pain and you're only treating the symptom. You're able to understand that you're just really just numbing the pain. You're not actually facing the pain, and you're not facing the darkness, and you're not able to release it and let it go and forgive yourself and others. You're going to be vibrating at a lower vibration. It's going to be a vibration of fear that also impacts your immunity. For me, I had so many health conditions. I had depression. I had pain and suffering from car accidents. I also had no confidence in myself after what happened to me. I just felt like I was worthless. I had so much guilt. I compared myself to others, and one thing I do teach to everybody listening, the only competition that's healthy for you and good for your well-being is being better than what you were the day before, and being able to forgive yourself for your mistakes, for forgiving others for those mistakes as well, and being able to shield yourself in love and light in a self-healing compassionate way. That's what we all need to do, to be able to vibrate at a higher level and not in fear, and be able to release that trauma. So that's a little bit about my journey. I don't talk so much about exactly what happened because, again, it's not on the calendar anymore. I'm able to let it go, but I know when someone suffers and they're in pain, they can be fixated on it. But when you let it go, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the Amazon jungle now, because that's where my process really started. It was a gift from my husband at the time. We're not together, but we're still very good friends. We're going to have dinner soon after the birthday celebration. But when I went there, I had no self-love. I was in so much pain. I walked in with a cane from an accident. But I knew I had to release it and let it go. And I did not want to be suffering anymore. So I say to many people, you can talk about your pain forever and ever, and it's going to lower your vibration. It's going to keep you sick. It's going to impact your well-being. And your wellness is so important. So I was able to release it and forgive myself, and to forgive the people that hurt me as well, and forgive the people that I hurt with my pain and talking about it all the time. And being around people, I was tired and fatigued. I wasn't a good wife. I wasn't a good mother. I wasn't a good teacher. I wasn't a good anything. So when you let that go, it's like I could stand taller, and the tension in my body stopped the pain. And it's such a miracle to even talk about it. But when you